no solid plan. Stems a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
No! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
It's like, hello?
Time is running out on Dan Cole's round. Let's go to 15. Bob?
Yeah, John Cole has been visibly angry. He's been talking to himself quite a bit. And it doesn't get any easier here on the par 3 15th hole at Minnesota National. This hole is guarded by 2 bunkers with a big tree in front of the green. Very challenging tee shot. He's opted to hit a 5-iron here. Cole, unreal pants, fluttering in the wind, mumbling to himself, I've got to have this shot.
Hooty-hoo!
Ooh, that's very well struck. Spinning through the air like a J.J. McCarthy pass. It's right on line. Looking good. Oh, my! It's in! I can't believe what I just saw. A hole-in-one for Cole at the 15th, and he's pointing at patrons in the gallery shouting, you doubted me, you doubted me, you doubted me, and now he's embracing his son, Peter. What a moment between father and son here at the 15th at Minnesota National.
Now what do you think? What do you think of that? I always love that one.
Who that? Who there?
Delicious. Cam Dantzler, what are you doing?
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
I've seen enough out of Cousins, Paul. Put him on ice.
Touchdown! Vikings!
Quarterback quandary.
I'm a fraud.
Yes. He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
I am what I am, and that's all that I am. And if I'm supposed to be somebody else, why do I look like me? Dak. Dak, you and yours. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole, and this is the worst all-sports radio station in the country. So says a former employee who funny was fired from here. I'm a radio dinosaur. This is my La Brea tar pit. Someday, archaeologists and paleontologists will be sifting through the rubble that will be 1600 Utica Avenue South, and they'll find my skeletal remains with my cold, dead, rigor mortis-laden lips attached to this RE320 dynamic cardioid microphone, and they'll say, EGAD, a social commentator with an archaic communication device. We're here until 3. If you're looking for poised, polished, and professional, you got to stick around until 3 o'clock. If you want unprofessional, unprepared, uninformed, and unrepentant about it, then stay right where you are, oh frantic one. So much to get to today. Start planning that parade route for the second week in February. It's a bull market at the goose that laid the golden egg. As GM Jeremy Zoll says, buy. Is it Zoll or Zoll? Buy. Twins win. Twins win. World Cup semifinals on tap tomorrow. And will LeBron ever make a decision with all those topics to get to? I'm not sure where to begin. Let's spin the wheel of topics. Will he ever make a decision?
Commons Golf Game.
Tale of two nines, man.
What did you shoot today?
So I'm playing with, before I get to that, I'm playing Rube Golf today. Dean Engelbretson, a retired pastor, and his two sons, Adam and Andrew. Guess who's the oldest son? His first son, Adam. It just makes perfect sense, right? I asked him, do you have any daughters? He said, no. I go, had you had a daughter, would you have called her Eve? He said, absolutely not. The club was my brush. The ball, I hit a 9-iron into a pitching wedge in to 3 feet on 9 and tap in to shoot even par on the front side. Club is my brush. The ball is my paint. The course is my. By the way, we were playing Rube Golf for a cast. That's Citizens Against Sex Trafficking. Tend to be. You consider yourself a citizen against sex trafficking?
Yes,
I do.
Definitely.
As well. Absolutely, we do. So that's what they were raising money for, and they paid hundreds of dollars to play golf with the Common Man. Today we want to thank the folks at Prestwick at Wedgwood and Woodbury for providing the green fees and the carts, and the course was in absolutely tip-top shape, as was my game. I make a par on 10 with a brilliant up and down. I pitch it to about a foot. I get up and down from the front bunker on 11 for par. Then, well, bogey on 12, bogey on 13.
Then what?
Triple on 14.
Well, there's that.
Double on 15.
Well, there's that.
A 9 on 16.
Well, there's
but
that.
Then I turned it around. Better late than never. I went bogey par. I can't even explain it to me. It really started on. I got a.
How'd you get a 9 on 16? Did you go in the water?
I heat, and then I make the putt. I swing. I pushed it right, and it kind of had a tree, so it was that side hill line. I hooked it, and it barely went, and then I popped one up into and then I hit it in the water. Well, I didn't even hit it in the water. I had to punch out of it, go down low, and then it's just, I can't explain it. How do you go 36-49? And I have witnesses. As a matter of fact, I was, I have to admit, I was wondering when Pastor Dean Engelbretson was going to ask for some divine intervention. I mean, could you ask your guy? You're tight with him. You got a direct connection to him. My guess is he texts and talks with God more than most people know, right? Why don't you? And then he started quoting some Greek philosopher who said, well, how do you know that you didn't have divine intervention? Maybe it could have been worse than that. I go, I can't shoot any worse than 49. There's just no way. No divine. But I shouldn't ask the pastor. He's retired. He's retired. I can't ask him to say, hey, could you ask for a little divine intervention? And if you're going to ask for divine intervention, wouldn't you rather ask for it to stop wars, disease, and brutality?
And sex trafficking.
Yeah, and sex trafficking and pestilence. Rather than ask, could you just help Common with his golf game a little bit? And then, of course, when you're playing with a man... What
about the golf gods? Does he have access to the golf gods?
I don't know. I didn't ask him that. And, when you're playing with a man of the cloth and his sons, I have to watch my language, of course, too. Can't be taking the Lord's name in vain. And Tenneby, you would have been proud of me. I handled it pretty well. I mean, I got a little quiet. Again, I wasn't thrilled about it. Remember I told you yesterday I'm in the dark room. I know what wall the lights are. I turned it on. It was a floodlight, man, on the front 9. And that was with a double bogey. I had a double bogey on the front side and still shot 36. I had 2 birdies. I hit, and the bogey was on the par 4 fifth where I thought I hit an 8. I kind of pulled an 8-iron a little bit. I thought it was plenty. It hit right by the bunker and then kicked into the bunker. My first bunker shot, I left it in. I hit a beautiful one, the second one, but missed the putt. I made a double, and I still. But you know what's most important to me now that I've stepped away? We raised money for CAST, Citizens Against Sex Trafficking, and it's all about awareness and teaching children what to look out for so they don't become victims of the scourge that is people that would take advantage of, it's criminal, obviously, and would take advantage of children and try to sex traffic them. So We raised money. It was a beautiful day. We thank Prestwick. We thank Cass. We thank the cast of characters that were out playing golf today. And we really enjoyed ourselves. All those other teases were Can you tell me of those teases? Tell me which ones of the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which ones were fake?
I'm pretty aware of the ones that were fake.
Yeah. There is no World Cup semifinals, not until 2030. And LeBron has made a decision. He's going to play with the Philadelphia 76ers. But planning a parade route, I'm now convinced after reading Alec Lewis. I don't know if you read the piece on Kyler Murray.
We're coming.
I mean, you read that, and it's like, I mean, when you're reading it, all of a sudden you will have visions of duckies and bunnies dancing through your head. You have a Sugar Plums, and Sugar Plums dancing. What is that old Christmas thing? Dasher, Dancer. No, something about Sugar Plums dancing in your head.
Blitzen.
Yeah, Blitzen. And you know who B-Flow's favorite reindeer is?
Who's that?
Blitzen. Power Trip Morning Show, Yours Advance Press. I wish the Power Trip was on right now, and so do a lot of listeners as well. And it is a bull market. The Twins have said, we are going to be buyers, and they did win. Royce Lewis with a dramatic walk-off, triple off the wall, bottom of the ninth to score two. So things are starting to look up, and they might even be looking up for you if you're looking for some money. $2,500, is that what our cash call is, Teneby? The cash contest?
No.
Or are we back to a G?
Yeah, I think we're just grand in your hand at this point.
Grand in your hand's pretty good.
It doesn't really say the dollar amount, it just says bonus bucks. But I thought the $2,500 was just for the 4th of July.
Well, I get why now. Because it was the 250th anniversary of the 2,500. Now I get it.
Correct.
It's sort of like, what was the other thing I didn't get for the longest time? Vikings Uncensored at Joe Censored. These things, sometimes I'm not as quick on my feet as I used to be.
But technically it doesn't say the dollar amount.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just $50, maybe it's $1,000. Well, I would assume it's $1,000.
Okay, let's say it's $1,000.
But it just says bonus bucks.
Okay, let's say it's $1,000. Well, after taxes, it's really about $700. And then you got a house car. We'll take a break. Tell me, what is that keyword?
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword green at KFAN.com now for a shot of winning. The keyword is green. Enter now at KFAN.com.
The Common Man.
Don't take any.
The Sports is also on YouTube. Check out the KFAN YouTube channel for exclusive videos, in-depth takes, initials, and password games, and behind-the-scenes content. Search KFAN on YouTube and hit subscribe today.
I just can't. I mean, it's almost too much. Can you overdose on the power trip, Teneby? Is that possible? Can you just get power tripped out, man?
I'd like to try.
Yeah, I would too. I hope we can do that sometime. It'd be so much fun. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Affordable-electric.com for all of your electrical needs. I had this, if you're remodeling your home, and you want, you might need, let's say you're tearing out a wall. You need to make sure the electrical's right. Maybe you're selling your home. You want it to pass inspection. You don't want some red flags to come up later on. And maybe you just, with as hot as it is, it's over 90 degrees again today with a high humidity. Maybe your air conditioner's working overtime, and maybe, for instance, when that air conditioner kicks on, you get to your lights flicker. Maybe you need a panel upgrade. They do it all. Whatever your electrical needs are, it's affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. They are shockingly affordable. Alec Lewis writes for The Athletic. Teneby, you're familiar with The Athletic?
I've never heard of it. What is it?
I have a prescription to it. You read anything from The Athletic regarding the local teams, and you'll feel so much better. In less than 20 minutes, you'll feel really good about yourself. Online sports page covers the entire gamut of sports, your whole life, just sports. They rated all the local newspapers and all the major markets, took the best of the best, their best writers or some of the best ones, found others, discovered people, and then they said, you'll write for us. And so then the two guys that created it sold it to the New York Times for hundreds of millions, I would imagine. I'm not sure how much they got for it, but I want to thank Alec Lewis and everyone else who writes for The Athletic, including Michael Russo, Dan Hayes. Who am I leaving out, Teneby? Russo, Hayes.
Alec Lewis, John Krasinski.
Krasinski.
It was Aaron Gleeman, but he went off on his own.
Yeah, for helping me. But,
Joe Smith also does wild coverage.
Yes, Joe Smith. This is Alec Lewis analysis. why Kyler Murray's fit with the Vikings is this inspiring optimism headed into training camp. So Alec Lewis tracks down a whole bunch of people, Tennessee. You familiar with Lincoln Riley?
Heard the name.
He's a lineman or a coach at USC, right? He took time out of his day to verify whether his former quarterback at Oklahoma, Kyler Murray, could be headed north to the Vikings. He said, when that was first starting to come together, I was really excited. Once the signing with the Vikings was official, one of Murray's coaches with the Cardinals, who requested anonymity to be candid about a former player, put the prevailing opinion bluntly. I think you're about to see the best version of Kyler Murray. And I'm bleeping P.O. that I'm not going to get to be part of it. I'm going to be jealous when he's in a good environment. His headspace is good. And he shows people who the bleep he is. It just goes on and on. Talking to executives, coaches, and teammates about him feel like a Heimlich maneuver test. The responses revealed as much about quarterback leadership philosophies, the role of media narratives in players' careers, and organizational impact on success and failure about the 28-year-old Heisman winner. Chase Edmonds, a former teammate of Murray's who played last year for the Commanders, said, I think how his career has gone the last 2 or 3 years has been necessary for his growth. The Vikings are going to be getting the best Kyler Murray that anyone has ever seen in terms of consistency. It's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before, Tennessee.
We're coming.
Here's what Jordan Hogan, a former Cardinals and San Francisco 49ers assistant, said. He's not an idiot, and neither is his inner circle. Being in the NFC West, he knows what this type of offense is about, meaning KOCs, because KOC is from that West tree with McVay. Being in the NFC West, he knows what this type of offense is about. He wants to live in the pocket. He wants to be a pocket passer. He doesn't want to run around because he knows that's how you get hurt at this level, and he knows that. Don Shumpert, a Cardinals assistant from 2019 to 2021, said, I think the play caller will hold him to a high standard, and he needs a coach who is going to be on him, not let him get away with little things. O'Connell is that type of guy. I think the dude is going to have a crazy year. Riley went on to say the organization is a part of how that organization works, how that organization is coached, how that organization goes about things on a day-to-day basis is a lot different. He wants to do it at the highest level, and he wants to be surrounded by that. Autry Denson, Cardinals running back from 2023 to 2025. It's almost like a movie review. What does Autry Denson say? He's a competitor. When you challenge a competitor, you know what they're going to do? They're going to compete, challenge him, hold him accountable. There's not a malicious bone in his body. Here's a former Cardinals coach who spoke on condition of anonymity. We try to be as much quick game as possible from a protection mindset. If he plays the way O'Connell wants him to play and he plays on time and his feet and eyes are timed up, he won't have any issues. It's all about the eyes.
Are we sure that's not from KOC?
Riley says, if I were a Vikings fan, I'd be licking my chops seeing how motivated this cat is right now. Bodega cat. It is off the charts. I read that, and you know when people tend to be, well, after you do a montage, like right now, let's go, whatever montage we do, where people say they're ready to run through a brick wall. I'm ready to run through a brick wall and buy Viking season tickets after reading that.
And we can build this thing together. Standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
What about Kyler Murray don't you like now, Tennessee? You doubted him. I doubted him. All of Minnesota doubted him. All these guys in the Cardinals, why did they let him leave is what I want to know. They're all talking about how great he is. Is that really more an indictment on that organization? Did they just mishandle him? I know the Cardinals haven't been very good. Of course, we really haven't either, but that's another story in itself. They're making it sound like this cat is ready. This dude is ready to play ball. He's a baller.
Well, and on the other side, you just said the word indictment. How big of an indictment is it on J.J. McCarthy that everything you ever hear about this place is this is the best place for a quarterback to go into? Great system. KOC is a genius. He's a quarterback whisperer. Number one receiver. You couldn't go to a better place and have success, and yet that's an indictment on J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. And so now, again, this is tend to be what I talk about all the time. I have a pessimistic approach to sports. Sports is your whole life, just sports. I've explained it hundreds of times. If you are an optimist and you expect the best and the worst happens, you're devastated. If you're an optimist and the best happens, it's not that big of a deal because you were expecting it. If you're a pessimist and the worst happens, you go, see, I told you so, and it doesn't bother you as much. If the best happens, you go, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I thought we were going to be a terrible team, a terrible city, terrible fans, terrible stadium. But look at us now. Nothing's going to stop us now, right? Do you like parades? And then when I listen to PA during Vikings season, and I listen to the basketball community during the basketball season, and you know, the Jolly Green Giant leading up to the Wild hockey season, and listen to the Polat Pocket Protectors going into the baseball season, and listen to the Conzemius is headed into the Gopher football season. I go from thinking we're going to be a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans and a terrible state to think nothing's going to stop us now. I thought the Vikings, we talked about it yesterday, they have the fourth worst odds of the 4 NFC North teams to win the division. According to FanDuel Sports, Lions are favored, followed by the Packers, then it's the Bears, and then it's the Vikings. And it's just odds. Who cares? Everybody's got different opinions, right? But I went to thinking, yeah, that's about right. They're going to really have some things fall into place. To now I'm thinking we got the MVP of the league under center. Can he make it last? Can he complete a pass? That's what we're about to find out. If you believe all this, then you and I were on to him early. We never believed there was really a quarterback competition.
No.
There is no quarterback competition. If they are saying these, my guess is O'Connell and everybody else in that organization is thinking the same thing. They're probably giddy, and they're trying to, you know, when like you're invited to a surprise party, and you know, a couple of days before the surprise party, you have to be really careful around the person the surprise party because you can't show your excitement. Same thing. They're just trying to play it low key, be real cool, calm, calculated. They're over there going like this every day, going, "We got Kyler Murray. This dude's a baller, man. This dude's ready to explode. He wants to be a pocket passer." So now I'm excited.
I'm excited that you're excited.
Do you like parades? That's the question, and I think we all do. Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. For all of your electrical needs, it's affordable-electric.com. Back with little Distat Lat and more controversial Vikings news on the other side of the break here on the
Common Man.
He's a larger-than-life person.
Minnesota Vikings football is back.
Wait.
Find our Mall of America street team at Vikings training camp every day for your chance to score awesome prizes, including Mall of America mystery cards and tons of other great prizes. We'll see you out there starting this Saturday. Get details now at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
You don't really literally mean tons of prizes, right? There's not like, a ton is what?
2,000 pounds?
Yeah, there's not like thousands and thousands of pounds of prizes. Or maybe there are. Maybe there are.
I don't know if I could fit all that in my car.
I mean, what, they call them white elephant gifts. Maybe we're giving away a lot of white elephants. I don't know, and they weigh a lot. Tell me, if I were to say elephant, would you say trunk or tusk?
Probably would say trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our opponents last week said tusk. No! Now, I don't know if there's anything to this, Tenneby. I've seen a couple of these over the last day or two. Just heard you guys got bumped on the 12th for PA to cover joint practice. What up with that? Is that true? Or now I'm not there on the 12th. It doesn't make never mind to me. I'm going to be on assignment. And I can't say where I'm going to be. All I know is my trouble's going to be behind me. I do know that. You're going to be hosting. Have you been bumped?
I'm hosting 9 to noon that day. And PA Nordo will go noon to 3 from Vikings training camp. Yeah. The following day when you're out there, you won't be out there. It'll be me and John Creasel live from Vikings training camp.
Is that also during a joint practice or is joint practice one day?
You'll be there for the joint practices.
Oh.
The following week.
Oh, that's the following week. Wow. How do you feel about that? Does that bother you? Do you feel like it's like, oh, I'm not good enough, huh? Or would you rather not say? Should we just move on?
No, I don't care. Well, originally he had mentioned the 13th.
Okay.
And said, hey, I'm going to have PA and Nordo out there. could you do 9 to noon? I'm like, well, I can't do it that morning. I have stuff going on that morning. And he was going to give me a spirit day. I'm like, oh, that sounds great. I just get the day off.
Nice.
But then Creasel couldn't do Wednesday. He could only do Thursday. So then we moved that PA day to Wednesday, which I'm now available that morning.
Okay.
But I almost had a day off out of it.
You should have went with the day off.
Yeah.
That's what you should have went with.
Would have been on a golf course and my troubles would have been behind me.
PA he can't get enough of that Viking stuff, can he? And people tell me he keeps going on and on about Carson Wentz. Does he know something we don't know? Because if you read what Alec Lewis wrote, now again, those are just people from outside the organization commenting on what they think of Kyler Murray. And they're both, and again, maybe these people are being sarcastic. Maybe they're doing a bit. Maybe they're going, let's tell them what a great guy they're going to get when they got a guy that can't play football. I don't know what they're doing, but they made it sound like he's going to be the toast of the town. But PA keeps talking Wentz.
Here's what I'll say about Carson Wentz. When they signed him in March, my antenna was up a little bit. I'm like, this is odd that they already have J.J. McCarthy and they have Kyler Murray, and yet they went out and signed that Carson Wentz agreed to come here without really kind of going over his options. Like I imagine that Carson Wentz could get a backup job somewhere else. And so at that time, I'm like, this is a little fishy to me. Are they going to trade J.J. McCarthy? I still think there's a possibility that they trade J.J. McCarthy, which is maybe why they're faking this competition. But, let's say Kyler Murray, let's say they came out today and KOC said, Kyler Murray is our starting quarterback. Who do you think is the primary backup? I think it's Carson Wentz.
I think it's Carson
I think if Kyler were to get hurt, that Carson's coming off the bench. It's not going to be J.J. So in that regard, he might be a little higher on the hierarchy than we think, or maybe people assume.
Jordan from Waconia writes, can you believe Barney said the quote, the Vikings have the best chance to win with Carson Wentz, unquote? Is he delusional? I turned it off and waited for the Grem after I heard that. Well, I don't know if he said that. I mean, and again, I'm not accusing Jordan from Waconia of making it up as he goes along. Maybe sometimes people just misremember and they don't hear exactly what was said. I don't know. I've not heard PA said that, but I have received text messages over the past few weeks sporadically about people saying that PA is extolling the virtues of Carson Wentz and how I had several people say when he was on with Lieber, he said, if Carson Wentz started the first 6 games, the Vikings would be 5-1. And you pointed out, and you're right, if that's the case and the Vikings believe that, then he's your starting quarterback.
Yes.
If you go 5, what team wouldn't want to go 5-1? If you said Pat Mahomes' backup could go 5-1, Pat Mahomes would be the second stringer to start the season. 5-1 is an incredible start to the football season. And we know that PA's plugged in. Now, I don't know if he's as plugged in as he used to be plugged in when it was before the horse divorce. He and Zim were tight, right? Him and Spielman were tight. He was on the inside. And I think he's a national treasure. And, I know from what I understand, KOC likes him, so I don't know. This one says, I cannot understand what the obsession is with J.J. McCarthy. He's proved absolutely nothing. We have Kyler, number 1. We have Carson, backup, number 2. J.J. can move on. It's just speculation, drama, and distraction. Something this team does not need. Trade J.J. McCarthy ASAP. When J.J. gets bumped to number 3, he will ask for a trade. It's possible, as Tenneby just said, maybe they are planning to make a trade. I don't know. When we were reading the comments, that the quotes from various players and coaches and anonymous football people about Kyler Murray, this text messenger said, did PA write this? I don't know. Maybe he did, but I don't know if he did because he's on the side of Wentz, from what I understand. This one says, do you think KOC would ever name J.J. McCarthy the starting quarterback this year? It feels like his job would be in much more jeopardy by doing that than letting Kyler Murray start and fail. Your thoughts? Also, a friend of mine who's very he's very pro sports savvy. He thinks that the season's a lost cause. Anyways, we signed too many free agents last year that didn't pan out, in that with the quarterback situation the way it is, we're not going anywhere this year and trade Justin Jefferson and get draft picks for him and start the rebuild now. Well, we don't rebuild here. We reload. It's a competitive rebuild. I understand that thinking. A lot of teams do that. We talk about tanking in the NBA more than anything, where teams just finally go, you know what, it's over. We got nothing. We our roster, we have no quality in our roster. So let's go ahead and try to get better draft picks. You could make that, but I don't think you can go into any season already running up the white flag. You can't do it. You got to, if it's terrible, trade JJ at another time, but I wouldn't do that yet. Absolutely not. The season's new. It's fresh. It's hip now. It's with it. While we're breaking early stations all along the Common Man Radio Network, we're breaking early. We're straddling the 45 because B-Flow is scheduled to address the media at about 12:50 with assorted players. We've heard rumors it might be McCarthy and Kyler Murray. So we want to see how much of that we can fit in before we get to Brian Oak and Rock Talk at 1:15. A break. We'll come back. We'll go live to Winter Park, the new Winter Park, the TCO Performance Center after this here in the Fan.
The Common Man.
It's just enjoyable